we are back. We back like we never left because it was just yesterday. So it kind of seemed like we never left. So what's up, ladies? We got Texas in the house. Karen. Her name is just Karen. So Karen, born in Omaha, Nebraska, raised off of 40th Street. How did you feel when they start naming the white women Karen?
I've always hated my name anyway. My oldest brother named me. I'm like, dude, why you name me Karen? Dude, could I have been Shaniqua? You know, come on, Boom Chic or something. Why was I named Karen? I've always hated my name, but you know, it didn't make me feel no kind of way. I'm good. Hey, gang.
What's up? Let's compose.
Hey, everybody.
All right, we got Crystal here, we got Kathy, we got Vanessa, we got Karen. So, Kathy, can you hear me better now, or is it still choppy?
It's bad.
She said it's bad. Okay, Karen, turn your camera
it was still
off.
choppy. Let me. You need to talk. Let me hear it.
Okay, what about now?
Did Krista fall out her chair?
Karen fell off.
Oh,
No, I fall out her chair.
Yeah,
You said did Krista fall off her? Kathy, try and turn your camera off and see if the audio gets better. So, okay, y'all, we are live. We are live today.
Let me try.
Okay, I see us on here. We on here nice and clear. All right, so the thing is now, most of the time we get a nice live audience. A lot of people watch the show afterwards. You know, we're supposed to go on at 6. I got distracted, tired, lazy, all the above. So I'll do it tomorrow. And there's like, no. And them people ain't even on here. Okay, we got Juanita Hayes. What's up, Sister Hayes? Juanita Hayes is on here. That's my ride or die, baby. That's my ride or die. So, Crystal, go ahead and introduce yourself. You are a frequent co-host of the hottest podcast in the Midwest, the only hot podcast that shout you out in real time and answer questions during the show. How you doing today?
I am doing great. I hope you ladies are doing well also. But anyway, my name is Crystal Wright. Been friends with Shan for like over 40 years. So just good to be here this evening. So I hope everybody else is doing well.
All right, Crystal, tell them a little bit about your podcast.
My podcast is we do it like every other Sunday. Sometimes we haven't really been consistent with it, but we are under the Cousins Wine and Tea. We kind of just do a variety of different topics. Usually it's posted like on Mondays. So that's pretty much about it. So just
okay. And on that show, they just talk their shit the whole goddamn time, y'all. They just talk their shit.
Look, I need to get on that show with her.
Oh yeah. You would be a good guest and a good listener. Shout out to Jean Pendergrass. Made it back safely from Arizona. She always go to when it get cold here, baby. See that's when you say that little old money. When it get cold here, she goes to her house in Arizona. So shout out to Jean. Sister Kathy, can you hear me? If you can, please introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm pissed because I definitely want to hear from Kathy.
Yeah, every other word I hear.
Okay, so introduce yourself. I can hear you now. Yes. Is anybody else? Yes, because I definitely want to hear from Kathy.
Can y'all hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm pissed because I want to hear from her.
I'm hearing every other word, and then it sounds like a robot.
Yeah, Kathy, do you got a computer, a laptop, or a desktop you can link up to? I'm about to. Kathy.
Yeah, I do.
Maybe just have her connect and
I'll try to.
I want you on the show.
Yeah, I was gonna leave and try to reconnect. Like,
okay, leave and come back and see what happened.
See if that'll work, cause this ain't working.
Now we can hear her perfectly.
Yeah, I can hear
I can
her.
hear you
I'm gonna
perfectly now.
let me log off of here and then grab my computer and see if that's any better.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave this one and go on the computer.
Okay. Okay. Good job. Thank you. All right, we got Maxine Hardiman all the way from Auntie. Where you at? Drop your city and state in there. Auntie watching all the way from someplace, not Omaha. Hopefully it's a warm place. I don't think it is, but okay, we about to jump into it. We about to get with it because yesterday we talked about Shannon Sharp.
Ugh.
Who is that? Krista or Karen? Y'all Uggs is so much alike now. We've been around each other so long. Y'all two sound alike. Who said that? Ugh.
I think I said it, but you didn't hear it. Ugh.
All three of y'all? Oh man.
Ugh.
You're so disgusting.
Yes.
Oh,
We talked about Shannon Sharp. We showed the video where Monique literally told him months ago to leave them young bitches alone.
Get you
She said, get you a fat. What she say, Karen?
a fat old gal that can cook you some cakes.
Cook you some cakes and feed you, and then drink your. And she kind of threw shade though. Did y'all catch this shade about the cognac? And drink your cognac and make you feel good. Like this cognac ain't worth shit, so I'm gonna just drink it to make you feel good. That kind of was a shots fired.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh no, shots fired." I said, "I wonder if anybody else caught that." So I invited Kathy to the show because she put a post up and said she stayed there for 10 years. She could have been left. And then so she was like, and she stood on her shit like, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. And I was like, okay. I said, hey, you want to get on the show? Because we all have different feelings.
Yeah.
You know, we all have different feelings, and there's so many different aspects of the case.
Yeah.
So many different aspects of the case. So I hope everybody did their research. I did watch a couple of videos. I went and read up the manuscripts on some of Cassidy's. I keep calling her Cassie Ventura, about some of the stuff that she said. And so she said, hey, Matthew Jordan, what's up, Matthew? He said, that's where the men are mentally young. Okay. Let me see, Kathy. Okay, Kathy, come on back in here.
mentally they're young, but their bodies is old as hell.
We said they're old as hell, but trying to act like they young.
Yeah.
Hey, Crystal, what we saying?
Yes, Kathy.
Is this thing going?
Yeah, it's better. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Good.
You in there.
Okay.
You in there. All right. Okay, so Kathy, we're gonna let you introduce yourself real quick to the people. And then I'll do a shout out to the people that's in here live. Go ahead, Miss Kathy.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Kathy K. Smile Smith. I'm the owner of K Smiles Entertainment and On Point Talent and Modeling Agency. I do everything entertainment from stage plays. I am also like an international award-winning movie producer. My stage plays, I won awards. I'm awarded all over the place. Producer of the year from the Fox Theater. I mean, I could go on and on.
Girl, talk your shit, Kathy.
So I do a lot of talent. I like working with new talent. I like to take people who don't think much of themselves and show them just how great they really are. And I show them that they're bigger than their circumstances. So I work with a lot of new talent, and I look for new talent just to give people a boost, to let them know that they are fabulous and all they need is just a little hand, and that's me.
I know that's right. So Kathy, where are you from? Are you from the city?
I actually originally from Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
I lived in LA for 12 years, and after moving to LA, I moved back to Memphis, and then I ended up in Atlanta, and that's where I am right now.
Okay. All right then. I know a couple of producers, Moretta Johnson.
Moretta, that's my girl. That's my girl.
Yeah, that's my homegirl, Miss Moretta. Yes, that's my girl. So shout out to the women in Atlanta doing some things. So yesterday we were on here. We were talking about Shannon Sharp dumbass and how Monique told him leave them young bitches alone. Get you an old fat woman that's gonna cook you cakes and gonna drink your cognac and make you feel good at night. So she told him that. So he went out there. He said, no, me. No, she said, you don't need them. He said, yes, I do too need them. You don't need them, obviously. You see what's going on with Shannon Sharp now. So we talked about the Diddy case a little bit yesterday. I want everybody to get their research in. so we could discuss this because I did a show a few weeks ago on the 22nd of April, and basically just said, after I'm a criminal justice major, so I'm just dissecting some of the stuff, and then I was just like, yeah, some of the stuff that they are charging them with, I think is an overreach. I think is an overreach, the charges. I said, but the people minds are already they already have a preconceived perception because of the video of where the maniac stumped her like she was a dog on the street. And I don't believe in violence, domestic violence. I believe if you're in an abusive relationship, and I know it's hard sometimes, to try to get out of that, but some people, I mean, they can't, and if they try to, and some people, I mean, I know some of my friends have been in abusive relationships where, I mean, the dude really kidnapped them, tied them up with ropes, beat them with belts and stuff like that. So when people say, that they can leave, sometimes they're not in a position to leave. Sometimes it's mentally. I did my thesis and I did my dissertation on domestic violence, and I do too on the other side. I'm like, just leave. I'm like, walk out the door and leave, just leave, and because I can't see myself in that position. But everybody is different.
Right.
We all different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
So I was when I seen Kathy's post, and I was telling the ladies when you backed out and came back in before you popped back in, I was like, you stood strong on your and I was like, I stood strong on what I said too about that. I don't think he should be charged with racketeering. That he doesn't meet the criteria for that. That's a reach. But again, the video, of course, it was horrible. The way he beat that woman weighing 16 pounds with 20 pounds of ankle weights on. The way he beat her was, I don't agree with none of that. But that video, that beating of her has passed. The statute of limitations have passed. But that's all everybody said. Oh, well, if he could do that, he could do this. So that's where the waters become murky in this case. So, Kathy, I'm going to let you go first. This is your first time on. These other ladies have been on here a couple of times. Crystal has been a co-host several times along with Karen. So, Kathy, let us know your post. You posted it.
Yeah.
You wanted people to know. So let us know what was behind the post.
Okay. Behind the post was, you can't dance with the devil and expect heaven.
Woo!
So I'm sorry, y'all. Let me cut this phone off.
Woo! I need you to repeat that, sister. Okay.
Like I said, you cannot dance with the devil and expect heaven. And it's the truth, and they say, oh, but she was 19 and he was 30. Yeah, but he was 30. So it goes both ways. If he's too old, if she's too young for him, then she was too old. He was too old for her. So it goes both ways. It's not just on him. She had to look at that and say, because at 19, I wouldn't have dated a 30-year-old, but that's just me. But she knew Diddy's lifestyle before she got with him. His life was no secret. He's been a freak. He's always had freaky parties, women around him, all this, that, or the other. When she met him, she was already entangled in a situation. So it ain't like, it kind of a little funny how people act like she was this lily white little young girl that got taken advantage of, and she was, innocent, and he just, no. Cassie was out there before she met Diddy. Diddy actually used to tell the drug dealers to stop serving her. So she stayed around, in my opinion. She wanted what his baby mama wanted. She wanted what Kim had. Kim was the main chick. It was never a doubt about that. She gave him the children. She did all of that. And that's what she wanted. And she stayed around for the perks. She stayed around for the fame and the fortune. And I think she got in too deep. Her parents tried to come get her several times. They told her not to deal with Diddy. She was hard-headed. At time that 19 something, you can't tell these kids nothing.
Yeah, you can't tell them shit.
No, and they don't listen. Oh, mom, you don't know what you're talking about. He's gonna do da 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 da. The same thing with R. Kelly.
Exactly.
Those women, R. Kelly has been on trial so many times for pissing on little
For,
girls.
for all his life, damn near. All of our life has
Right.
been on
So why
trial.
would
So
you
they
go?
knew.
Why would you go? What makes you think he ain't gonna piss on you? So it's like the writing was on the wall. Like you said, think about this. Even as children, when we got burnt
We
by
didn't do it
fire,
again.
we
We
didn't
didn't
put
do
our
it
hand back
again.
in that fire.
We
And if
said
God,
that.
right, and if,
Kathy,
what
you
is-
got me rolling.
All right. I lost it, Kathy. Hold on, girl. Give me a minute.
Oh, look at y'all see my forehead. Y'all see my line on my forehead. Oh man, Kathy, you got me.
think about it, like as kids, we learned when fire is fire and to win the bag out.
Yeah.
And one thing I can say, yeah, Diddy was a dog. He manipulated the girl. He took full advantage of her. But it's an old saying that they will only do what you allow them to.
Mhm.
She allowed it. When she saw it was happening the first time, she should have left. But they so tangled up with one fame and
Yep.
one fortune, they
That's
sell their soul
scam.
to the devil and expect heaven. It's not going to happen. There was nothing Cassie was going to do that was going to make Diddy treat her any different. I don't care how many biscuits she made. I don't care how many, excuse me, dick she sucked. I don't, you can't do enough because everything she did, he's done it and had it over and
Yeah.
over and over. So
Yeah.
what made you think you was gonna do anything different than all these other 3,000 girls done did on tour, groupies, and everything? They was willing to do whatever. But when she came and stayed, he knew he had him a fool. And no matter how many times she left, she came back. If it's that bad, don't go back. Why would you go back? She left like 4 or 5 times free willingly, not forced, but she came back. So why?
He not
So
only came back, she had 2 locations. He had a location for her in LA and a location for her in New York. And so, like you said, I mean, I probably wouldn't say it as eloquently as you did, all the pissing and stuff. I mean, but she knew what she was getting. I'm like you. She knew what she was getting into. If you see a man that's got 40,000 cases of baby oil, you are getting into deep. But she was not innocent. She definitely had a past, and I think she enjoyed some of that freaky shit. I'm not saying that any kind of domestic abuse is
Right.
valid, or anybody should go through that, but if you listen at the testimony that other people have released on her behalf, it makes you kind of question some of her actions too.
well, the transcripts said that she was the one that set up the freak offs.
Yes,
It was
ma'am.
her that set up the freak offs, and sometimes didn't even know she did it.
Yeah,
So
and
how
the
is
guy
that?
she was
And they
she was
said
in bed
that
with.
she paid the man to piss in her mouth.
Oh,
She paid for that. She did. And the man said she asked for it. I did it, and she paid me to do it. Now, Diddy wasn't there when that happened. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow, you guys are enlightening me on something. I heard
good.
in the testimony too about her. She's like, well, he just did it once and basically showed me how to do it, and then she set up everything else. Either Diddy is a mastermind, a genius, a mad genius, because his fingerprints are not on anything. His fingerprints, when she said out of her own mouth, she found the prostitutes, she looked them up on Craigslist, on Facebook, on what's that back page or backsplash or whatever the hell it is, where you find some prostitutes. When she said that she did all of that and then went through his business to get planes, acting like these were employees, masking that these were employees, that that's a lot of organization.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
people get paid big money for doing jobs like that. That's a lot of shit that you got to do and
And
keep track of.
I just was like, if she participated in this much stuff that they're charging him with, why ain't her ass being charged though?
So I
Because you
was about
willingly participated, you willingly orchestrated, you willingly spent the money, you willingly used the drugs, you willingly traveled, and you willingly invited folks. Don't that sound like you were a willing accomplice?
A co-conspirator.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so Karen, what were
co-conspirator.
you? I agree with you, Vanessa, on that. It was just because at first I ain't gonna lie, I was like, yeah, Diddy, he made this girl do it, but in some aspects, you know, you can have control over somebody in various different ways. So we're not taking anything from that. Anybody that has been manipulated, sex trafficking, and y'all know on my left episode on the 22nd, I said they overuse sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Prostitution is prostitution. If I want to sell my tunchi and get paid for it, that's voluntarily, that's prostitution. Sex trafficking, to me, the definition should be forcibly putting somebody in a position. I can't leave. You got me locked up. You got a gun in my head. Using kids, sex trafficking, prostitution. The prostitution ain't even in the law books no more. Everything is sex trafficking. So the thing is, if I'm a prostitute and I hop on a plane, I say, damn, Diddy throwing up 15,000 this week for, oh shit, I ain't gonna make that in 2 months. I'm about to go and hop on this plane. It's my body, it's myself. So why am I not being charged with trafficking?
Right.
See, I think Cassie went home. I think when she left Diddy's big $300 million mansion. And when she went home to that 3-bedroom, 2-bath her mom and dad had, she was like, oh, hell no.
She said the 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
She said, "I go back to that."
That's not the lifestyle. She wanted that lifestyle. That drive, they had private drivers. I mean, Diddy had money on top of money on top of money. So she got plenty of it. And then he turned around and gave her 20 million, and she still still in court. So it's like he gave her that money for no reason. He really did, because he still ended up in jail.
And
But I'm gonna tell y'all something, honestly, this ain't even about Cassie to me. This is about them Jews with their Ciroc liquor that he done pissed off. And when he was trying to organize that all-black group, he said he was getting all the celebrities and people of power together because black people win votes. And he was forming this organization. I forgot what he named it. He was bringing all these black people together so we can make a decision on who would be the next president or vice president, because we are good in numbers. We win elections. And when he put that out, sometimes you got to move in silence.
Yeah.
When he put that out, that's when they came after him.
You know, the same thing with Nipsey Hussle.
Yep.
Same thing with
Cosby.
Dr. Same thing. Same thing. You know, once you start trying to get organization, because that's one thing they don't want from us is organization. Because if we came together and united as a people, baby, honey, the Bible tell you those who were last will become first. We just got to get it together. We just got to get it together. Sister Crystal, what's your thoughts?
Well, you know, initially, when I was, you know, I had looked at a lot of Diddy's documentaries, you know, that had been coming on, but then I just started getting tired of it. So I really hadn't been following it consistently about, you know, what has been going on with the trial. But I do agree with you in that I do feel that he's a master manipulator. He really doesn't have to have his hands on everything, but to the point where even behind the scenes, he's pulling strings and people are afraid of him. It's just the bottom line. And then all the people that have been involved with him, you know, some people that have come up, you know, dead or, you know, I'll be sure, you know, his situation. I mean, they've all had ties to Diddy. So I just kind of feel like he just, you know, he still is in there lingering in the wings. He had his hands and everything. Maybe his fingerprints are not being shown, but he still has made his presence known with everybody else. Like, I think everybody's afraid of him.
Oh, definitely a puppet master. We're gonna give him that. We're gonna give him, he's a puppet master. He's a puppet master. He's definitely pulling the strings. He definitely got his hand. But I'm saying that in that aspect, I'm not letting him go on none of that. I'm talking about the charges that they're charging him with
right now.
The charges that they're charging him with. Is he a freak? Is he a fucking bully? Is he a tyrant? He's all of that. He's all of that. He's mad. We seen that on what was that? Making the Band. We seen that years ago on Making the Band. He's a fucking idiot. He gets mad. He goes crazy. Made that little kid walk to the how many miles to go get some damn cheesecake and didn't even eat it. he shows you that he's controlling. Again, I'm talking about the charges. I'm talking about the charges, and we are talking about Cassidy's
Cassie.
Cassie's Cassie probably gonna say, girl, if you say my name again, I'm gonna sue you. But
Also, some of those are far fetched. I mean, they're reaching kind of far with all that up.
And I think because he has so much power, and I didn't know anything, Kathy, about anything he was trying to get together like that, but I know that some people have been taken out of the game, and power have been stripped from them when they do reach outside of the people's intent for them. When you go outside of what they're saying you can do, and you say, oh, well, I'm gonna do that. Same thing happened with Nick Cannon, Dr. Selby. They busted Nick Cannon down so quick when he was saying he was boom. Nick said, "Oh shit!" They almost took instant.
Yeah. Why you think like I'll be sure he was a victim to wanting to expose Diddy, and he ended up with this sickness and almost died. Jamie Foxx was another. All of them was in his camp. It's just that when you plan, you cannot get out here playing dangerous games with these people because their money is their power. And God said, don't be anxious for nothing. So when you go out there, like me, I'm in entertainment, but you know me, I run my own stuff. I ain't borrowing from CBS. I ain't trying to get on nobody's stuff. I'm following everything Tyler Perry did. Because Tyler Perry go to sleep at night because he don't owe nobody nothing.
Right.
So what? They won't give him an Oscar. They won't give him a They won't give him nothing, and he don't give a shit because he living over there. The largest studio. This black man came from dirt, and he has the largest studio in the whole United States, and he don't owe nobody nothing. So ain't nobody. They can't threaten him. And when you go out there linking up with them devils out there, borrowing money from MCA and Warner Brothers and all this, and Tony Mottola and Michael Jackson and all them people got killed. Because Michael died because he didn't want to sell them the Beatles collection, which he outsmarted them. And so they thought he was going to be dancing and singing for the rest of his life. He beat them and went and bought the Beatles collection worth billions of dollars, but they wanted it back and he wouldn't sell it. And Michael Jackson came on TV and said, Tony Mottola is the devil. And after that, shortly after that, he was dead. So it's like you can't go out there fooling with like like the dude from Friday said, "Don't go over there messing with them damn people." Boy, I'd have told you to get your ass.
And I would tell you to this too, Angie Stone.
Yeah,
just dropped that. Angie Stone just dropped that. And then
but that was a personal. No, Angie, that's my personal friend. I mean, like sister friend, like. We did everything together. You don't know that relationship we had, but we were extremely close at each other's house. Whatever. And I got my last video with Angie. We were at Blondie's birthday party that I gave her. I was the one got Angie her a legendary award. I was the one just got her a doctorate award. She got an honorary doctorate degree in December. And I did all of that. I got her the legendary award from the Archie magazines. So those are all things with me. Angie died from an accident. It was no foul play. That white lady lied. There was she didn't walk Angie to the side of the road. None of that shit happened. It was a blatant lie. I know how Angie passed away, and it's gonna all come out, but I can share here with y'all that Angie was getting out of that. She was on her way. It was 4 of them already out. Everybody on that bus, on that Sprinter, were her cousins and her band that she's traveled with forever. Nobody was on that bus to hurt her. And when they was helping her because Angie was already weak, and they was helping her get out of the van. And just as they got her to the top, the 18-wheeler came and hit, and it knocked Angie off onto the ground. And that's how Angie passed away. It wasn't everybody over there in Mobile, Alabama, where she passed, that road is so dark. And my son drive 18-wheelers. He was like, Mama, with a Sprinter turned over on a dark road, the lights, the battery done fell out, you cannot see. By the time you get up on it, that's why that truck reared all the way off the road. He was trying to miss them because he saw them, but he didn't get to stop on time. Now, if you hit those brakes too hard on the 18-wheeler, you're going to kill yourself. You're gonna
Yeah.
kill yourself. So they always tell you it's best to run through it than to try to hit it. I mean, then to try to hit brakes. So when he got up on it, he tried to miss them and he hit it and ran off the road on the other side. She didn't, nobody killed Angie. It's just so happened that she spoke that and it happened. It was such a coincidence. And it hurted my feelings to hear them saying that Ashton, which is her assistant, had something to do with it, or even her son had something to do with that. They don't understand the hurt that people have to hear that stuff or read about it, the conspiracies about Angie's death. First of all, if you think about it, everybody that died, the record companies had something they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Angie didn't have nothing they wanted. They just owed her some money. Just like they owed Toni Braxton money. She got her money. Just like they owed TLC money. They got their money. Angie just wanted her money. So it was no reason to kill her. Michael Jackson died because they wanted that album. That Beatles. Prince died because he changed his name and didn't give them no album. You know, stuff like that. They have something that they want. And if you just trying to get your money, MCA Records or whoever, RCA, they got billions of dollars. It wouldn't have been nothing to throw Angie their little money, which Tyler Perry helping them get her money now. They wouldn't have killed her for that. They owed her that money.
I didn't know. I never heard of those conspiracy theories. I just thought it was mysterious that she just spoke out against Clive Davis and then that happened. I never thought one person. If anything, I was blaming it on that entity right there.
You got to understand, like,
now that
you mean the driver will put his own life at risk to flip over a sprinter? He gonna die too? I mean, then how could you time that right? Okay, and go flip now. Okay, now you coming wrong. You can't time that. You just can't time it.
I mean, that was my theory. As far as that, I never thought nobody in her family or nobody had anything to do with that.
Right.
I
Nobody. Her kids are fine with knowing the truth, and there's more to it. I just can't tell it all, but it's more to how she passed. But I can just tell you that little part. It's more to it. Yeah.
All right. So anybody have any of the testimony? Because I got a couple of little experts here. Any of the testimony that you found? I want to comment on any of Cassidy's testimony that you found to be supportive of what's going on, or basically you don't know.
You know, I just lean to what you've been saying all along. When you look at the statutory charges, are they proving that with the testimony that they have brought forth? And what has been released that I've read, it doesn't appear as though they're proving the charges. They're showing, that he had power, that he was abusive, that he had a bunch of red pumps in his closet and some guns and a lot of baby oil and as you said, a lot of piss happening. But does that break the law? Because there are swinger clubs all across the United States, and these folks is doing that same kind of nastiness all over the United States. But they're not having this, and I don't know. People have said, he learned his behaviors from Andre Harrell. I don't know if that's true, but then they all say, it ties back to how they learned it from Clive Davis. So, I mean, it's far reaching. I just think I have to say, if it was me, I would be telling on everybody. I wouldn't be sitting there letting them folks run my name through the damn ground.
Well, that's an automatic death sentence, I'm pretty sure, if they do. But the one thing that I don't like is that how they glorify Hugh Hefner for doing the same thing that Diddy did. Hugh Hefner had the bunny
in their face.
Oh yes, and they made him. Oh
and
baby, he was the king. He was everything to everybody. He had them girls. They had to sign an NDA to come to the Bunny Ranch. They swore not to ever say anything. That's where Diddy messed up at. They didn't sign NDAs. They could go say what they want to say or whatever. But they did the same thing. Every celebrity in Hollywood has been to the Bunny Ranch and been with them young little girls out there. But the skin color gives them a pass. Like I said, if you're gonna take them down, take them all down. There's some more of them out there. You got so many people that's doing the same thing Diddy is doing, but they getting away with it. But of course,
one of the parties he had was at Hugh Hefner's location with all these people.
Right. I mean, you can't get charged. I mean, what's the charge for being a freak at your house? What
I know,
assault?
I know,
Freak
right?
with assault on a freak. I mean, what you if you freaking in your own house with people that say they want to freak with you? I'm trying to figure out what's the charge.
The
You know,
testimony today about the pumps, I was like, what validity of counting how many pairs of red pumps did he have? Well, he better not ever go into any organization similar to mine and looking for red pumps. That's all we got.
well, you know what? Them red pumps might have been his. Hell, they say he was sleeping with
That's what
me.
I said.
Yeah, he have a fetish for men. Let's do a little shout out time right now. We got Maxine Hardiman in here. Matthew Jordan has put in a couple of comments. He said it's all a distraction from the Epstein list. Ooh, yes. I said I got a note right here about Epstein, Matthew. I got a note right here about Epstein.
Epstein ain't dead either.
William Flood said you got him rolling, Kathy. Somebody said Diddy is real life Wild E Coyote and Pepe. I don't know what that is.
Pepe
Pepe
Le Pew.
Kalu. Who is that? Is that
Pepe
the
Le
little?
Pew, that
The little.
Yeah.
Okay, then they said Diddy is guilty of being a wife beater for sure, but Diddy is not a pimp. And again, we all know what Diddy. Wait a minute, they said that I did read part of the testimony, and then I'm gonna get back to that part. They said that he would have inflatable
Pools.
inflatable pool,
Girl, yes.
full of baby oil. Can somebody say yeast infection? Who in the hell? An inflatable pool full of baby oil? Girl,
And they all
you know
rolling
was
around.
naked. They said
They still want to put the women in there to wrestle.
yeah, he
That's
said that he liked them glistening, but yeah, no. But
And
I
these
mean,
are
if somebody's getting paid 10 racks or shit, they say, hey, I'm getting in the food with baby oil. I'm just saying, us, we ain't gonna do. I don't know. I might get in the food for 10 racks. Let me think about it.
Be like, you better not tell nobody.
Look, let me think about that again.
peeing in my mouth. Well, don't be peeing on me, period. But
Don't put no pee nowhere near me.
Right.
But see, you got to understand, a lot of women with standards would not have gone to Diddy and got under.
Right.
He went and got some of them ratchet. Them children, them baby ain't got no Pampers at home, so they looking like $5,000. Yeah, I do it because they needed the money. And then, oh, girl, they got the brag that they hung out at Diddy house.
Right.
You know,
right.
he didn't go get a woman that was of standards. He didn't do that. You can't name one woman that was with him that had some type of standards or college educated. All those women that was with him were kind of, I hate to say it, but they were low class. They was like ratchet, like.
telling
Honey, K Smiles is selling. K Smiles, baby. K Smiles. I'm gonna have to invite you back on here, baby. K Smiles is not playing with the people. She don't give a damn. They said that Diddy was turning like this way. First of all, they said he pulled his. First of all, your posture is everything in the courthouse. And Diddy, regardless and you've been in enough courtrooms to know. Your posture, your facial expressions, the way you move your body, everything people is looking at. So for you to be like just turning this way, won't look at Cassidy, you should have been looking right at her. I would have told my attorney, I said, you could have been looking at, ain't nowhere in the world I would have told him. I would have stopped, nigga, turn your ass around. Look, turn your ass around. Because the jury is looking at all of that. Because if I'm turning sideways, while the woman, she's pregnant, she rubbed her stomach the whole time she was, she was up there. I never did that when I was pregnant. So I don't know if that's some new people shit, just rubbing your stomach, sitting down the whole time. I don't know. But anyway, I think that she may have been coached to do that, to draw towards the pregnancy, the position she's in.
Wanted to piss Diddy off too. So she doing anything she can to make him and
he literally gave them what they want by turning away from her. He should have just if you was mad, nigga, look empathetic. Look empathetic, like damn, like, oh shit, I didn't know you felt like that, but you know what really went on. But it's all about posturing in court. I mean, when you go in a courtroom, y'all know I'm ex-law enforcement. When you go in a courtroom and people come in with jeans short, the judges take all that shit into consideration. The way you dress, the way you walk in there, the way you address them. It was one dude, he just let go. He said, I'ma just let you go. If you ain't killed or murdered nobody, if you haven't physically harmed nobody, he said, I'm letting you go. He said, you came in here with respect. You got on a shirt, tie, and slack. And he let him go. He said, I'm gonna let you out on your recovery.
Dog has something to say about it.
What'd you say?
The dog has something to say about it.
That's right. Get it in. Talk your shit. But yeah, so
they do have in the courtroom too. They have people that watch and can read your body language.
Yeah.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Crystal, you got anything you want to throw in and you want to throw in the sink? Or you want to read can you see the comments? Can y'all see the comments?
No.
I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna read a couple of comments. Miss Winters use his business employee. Why is you what is you trying to show?
I want you to talk about that, the Ohio man, about his son.
Okay. Why do people just tell me this, y'all? Why do people just think they could just interrupt your shit? They bring babies over. They tell me, I want you to talk about this. Okay, that's
but
we don't
talking about stuff, talking about stuff. Though.
And he's still talking, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's my nephew, my son. He my nepson. But yeah, I do have him on my list for next week.
Oh, okay. All right,
the Ohio man that the police officer, the deputy killed his son, and he went. Well, you should have killed the same deputy that killed your son, though. I mean, why are you killing the wrong person? I mean, at least you would have they would have said, they would have said, well, yeah, that man killed his son, but you just went and killed a random cop. I mean, I got family members who work in law enforcement too, and y'all know we got good, bad, and ugly. It's a lot of ugly ones out there. There's a lot of ugly ones out there.
You got that in everything, from teachers to doctors to dogs to
the pulpit to everything.
Good and bad and everything.
Go ahead.
So when you gonna come back on? Because we need to talk about them New Orleans boys that's running.
Well, I think
the inmates,
the escapees.
Yeah, how many they caught? 5.
They got 5. 5 went back.
So we was talking about that yesterday, Kathy, and we were talking about they just didn't have no plan. One Negro just went to sleep on the bench. Why the hell did you escape? Karen told us they found him on the bench. Why would you escape prison and go to fall asleep on the bench?
Yeah.
They scared of
Well, that's what they call a bench warrant.
Institutionalized.
All right, I'm gonna see if my video's uploaded, ladies. Let me see, because I definitely want to show these videos, especially since I got you on. Okay, yes, they did upload. Okay, let me see. Let's start. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna pause this. Okay, I don't want to do this one first. Okay, so this we're going in from one subject to another. I just looked and seen that my videos had uploaded. I didn't know if they uploaded or not. Kathy, this was my cousin sent me these videos. This was a 13-year-old girl. She went to a slumber party, a sleepover, and some girls they got her really, really drunk, and then just started beating on her and videotaping it. And then she couldn't even walk. And so the mother has a very respectable job. She's a nurse. And I guess this young lady's mother wanted to press charges. She was pressing charges, and they were trying to talk her out of pressing charges. And so we were like, it wouldn't have been no question. It wouldn't have been no question for me. When y'all see the videos, you see it says her drunk ass got knocked out. So I mean, it's 4 or 5 y'all.
You can't do anything.
I'm gonna tell you now, I would have had.
Oh my fucking god! Clara.
Yeah, they would have been pressing charges on me.
Yeah, and facts. So yeah, that is how it was. I told the ladies yesterday, it was hard to look at they were just like tossing her around and everything. And I mean, look what they did to her.
Oh my goodness.
Real shit.
And laughing, bitches.
Money, nigga. My name ain't a my.
She lucky to be alive though with the alcohol and
Whoa.
Where was the parents at? Like where this summer party's going on?
Oh. Dude.
And they think this shit is funny. Look at them.
Damn, your face crooked as a motherfucker. Money, stop recording her. Damn, nigga. They fucked you up when she slammed your ass. Nigga. Stop recording me, nigga. Nigga. She fucked you up, nigga. Look, you look silly as fuck. Nigga. You're I'm my nigga.
and where did this happen at?
It's in Omaha, Nebraska, honey.
Oh my God.
This is in Omaha.
But see, that's the thing too. Parents
Come on with it.
Really letting their children go to any and everybody's house without knowing who these kids are, who their parents are. My mama didn't let us. We couldn't go to nobody's house.
We couldn't either.
See all of this right here, and then like these kids are not supervised. There's not a parent or adult nowhere. It's like, how do things go on like that under your roof and you not even know? Being a parent, that's why you gotta be all in your kids' business. I don't give a damn what they're talking about.
Come on with it.
You got to be all in your kids' business. I need to check your phones. I need to see everything. Don't lock these damn doors. You don't pay no damn rent around here. I need to be all up in your business. They didn't gave children too much freedom. We didn't have choices. You eat what the fuck I made, and if you don't want that shit, then you can take your ass and you don't eat shit. You don't get nothing. That's just it.
You know what my grandmother used to say?
You better not sit at that table too long looking at them damn cold ass green beans. They're gonna shove that shit down your mouth. You how to eat it anyway. My mama, they didn't play with us. And these kids, they give kids too many choices because what happened is they're trying not to raise children the way they were raised because they think their parents was harsh. But those harsh ass whoopings is what kept us from getting on drugs and out in the streets.
Exactly.
And tying up in the wrong situations and stuff. So I ain't gonna whoop my kid like I got a whooping shit. My kids got their ass towed up.
Right. And that's why people kids is whooping them. Because they don't whoop them. That's why they whooping y'all asses right now.
Yeah, that's true. It's kids need structure. I don't care. They need structure, they need love, and they need quality time.
They
but
definitely
it's unfortunate that a lot of daddies are not in the home, which makes the mother have to work 2-3 jobs, which leave the kids at home to raise themselves. There's no supervision there. So she don't have time to give them quality time because she's trying to keep a roof over their head. But you still should have enough instilled in your child that I'm finna go to work. Sit y'all ass down with this peanut butter and jelly. Don't turn on nothing. Watch TV.
Don't answer the door.
You answer the door. It should be that kind of thing. When I get back here, if anybody done mess up anything, I'm gonna tear your ass up. And you need to have instilled that in your kid where they would know mama for real.
Right.
These kids today were like, she ain't gonna do nothing for us, honey. She'll be all right.
That's exactly what they say.
It is.
So what you got to say about that?
For authority, no respect for authority whatsoever. No.
Right.
I agree wholeheartedly because these kids nowadays, they just from another. I don't even know where they from.
Yeah, they whooping old people on the bus. They whooping the teachers' asses. They just don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Very entitled, that sense of entitlement now. It's like they don't feel like they have to work for nothing, that you just, because you're mom, that you just supposed to just do everything, do for them. They have no sense of direction or anything. I don't know if it was Generation X or Z. I don't know what
it's
the
generation fucked up is what it is.
Right. But see,
the
kids didn't change, the parents did.
Yeah.
The kids didn't change. Kids only know what they taught. So
Yep.
they didn't change. It's the parents that changed. They got too lenient. They got too irresponsible. You got a lot of grandmamas that are 32 years old. You know, ain't no more big mamas. That name is gone out of extent, child. Ain't no more Muddeal and Big Mama. Everybody's Gigi and Glamour and all that stuff is gone. You know, it's no more wholesome older women that'll take the child and, you know, with that handkerchief tied around they holding they little coins and that, all that shit is extinct, child. No, you ain't doing none of that. Because everybody, you know, no, it's not. You know, like I am a grandmother. I got 7 grandkids. My oldest grandchild is 22. He's in college, 4.0, playing football in Texas. My other grandson is 4.0, playing football at Old Dominion in Virginia. Right. They're the 2 oldest. My 12-year-old lives in Nigeria with his mother and stepfather, because my son passed away when his mother was pregnant with him. So she ended up marrying a guy from Ghana. And my grandson spends his summer vacations in Dubai. So she ended up marrying a rich Ghanaian man. But my grandson is very well taken care of. And then I have 3 younger ones here in Atlanta. But they know when G-Mon talk, they better get it right, because I'm coming at them, child. I don't hold back on their little butts either, because you know y'all ain't fixing to be no idiots around here.
Right. So go ahead, Vanessa.
These parents, they want to be their friends. Like I asked someone recently, you know, why don't you go to church? Why don't you make your son go to church? He's not a real old child. And their response was, well, I don't want to make him feel forced. And religion is a choice. And I think he should be able to cross that bridge when he decides he wants to. I was like, I know you didn't grow up with the same people that I grew up with, because religion wasn't no choice. It was a mandate.
Right. You didn't
have no choice.
If I don't go to church, your ass is going. Look,
you going. Sometimes, you know, my mom, she was always at church, but sometimes if she didn't go to church, she'll be like, y'all, the bus coming to get y'all for Sunday school. Y'all at the 11 o'clock service. Boy, you better not be late getting on that Sunday school bus. You better get your ass out there and get on that bus.
That's how we were growing up too. Even like my grandmother, she didn't go to church. My mom's mom didn't go to church. My mom was Catholic, but my paternal grandmother, she was really religious, Church of God in Christ. So that's the path I took, Church of God in Christ. And so I was at church all the time. But my grandmother that didn't go to church, you know, when I was growing up, she didn't give a damn. That church bus is coming. She cooked us biscuits and gravy, or biscuits and homemade syrup. Y'all will have your ass out of here. Whether you finish these biscuits or not, you will be on that bus for Sunday school. And you'll be coming back when church is over. She didn't care. I remember when I worked nights and I had stopped going to church because I was working overnight. I was just so tired. You know, I couldn't get up for 11 o'clock service. I get off at 7 and I'll be like, I set the alarm. I'll be like, oh, I ain't going nowhere. So then we start having Vanessa 8 o'clock service. So I said, so my first few weeks I was going and I just came straight from work because I got off at 7, got to church about 7:30, 7:45. So I still got my uniform on. Girl, I'm asleep. I'm like, but once I got used to it, you know, then I could stay up in church. And then I was saying, I said, I remember I was saying to somebody, oh, well, yeah, I don't make Shiffy go to church because I have to get up so early and stuff like that. And then I thought about my grandmother and them biscuits. And I was like, yeah, we didn't get no choice. They're not Shiffy. And she'd be like, Mama, do we got to go to 8 o'clock? We sure do, because I get off at 7. So we're going to 8 o'clock service. So Shiffy was right with me every time we went to church. And
you know what? A lot changed about that too. You know, it's hard now to just even trust a church bus, because you got so many people that's molesting and hurting children in the church, behind the church, around church. So it's hard to turn your children over. It's just sad that the world has turned into this where you can't even trust a bus to come take your little small kids to church, because you don't know when Deacon Patterson gonna have a thing for little girl. You just don't know. The world is just scary.
It is.
You can never be too safe when it comes to kids. You just can't be too safe no more.
Right.
But if you're taking yourself to church,
take your kids.
You walking right past your child's room. Why ain't your child going?
Exactly.
Because he don't want to.
Well, you
Right,
ain't got a damn choice.
exactly.
You better get up.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
want to talk about something you said, Kathy, about the different meals. So I was hanging with my cousin. I wasn't never hanging with my cousins, you know. It's on my dad's side. So then, you know, when I got grown, I was hanging with my cousins and stuff. And we would be together and we go out to eat. So I got my daughter with me. I hadn't had my son yet. And then she was like, oh, well, she asked her boys, what do y'all want to eat? And then I said, well, Sandra, where we going to eat? She said, oh, we going such and such, such and such. And then her boys would say, no, I don't want that. She would go to a whole nother restaurant for this one, a whole nother restaurant for that one. And then I said, honey, you is out of your damn mind. And I told my daughter, I said, you will never get to dictate to me. If you don't, my grandma used to say, oh, I don't eat beans. I ain't eating that. And guess what she used to say? Oh, well, you'll be real hungry in the morning. Look, you'll be real hungry in the morning. You'll be real hungry in the morning. Crystal, how you feel about that different meals for you? And because you only got one child, but still, I only had one for 14 years. But I still, what we ate is what we ate.
Yep. You're going to eat what's prepared or you're going to be hungry.
You said you're going to eat what's prepared or be hungry.
Here.
Yes. So there was I'm going to show you guys this last video. It was actually I showed them out of order. And I want to know, it's really hard for me to watch those videos because and just like everybody on here was saying, Crystal, your parents didn't let you go. Vanessa, yours didn't. Kathy, yours didn't, and mine's did. My mother used to say, oh, well, they can come spend the night over here, but you ain't going nowhere. And I got my niece, and so she been with me for a couple of months. And hi, cutie.
It's the youngest baby. They just came over here for summer. They out of school, so.
Oh, okay. Well, he getting it in.
I'm on the phone. Look. Look.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm on a podcast. Say hi.
Hello, how y'all doing? Look, y'all with your grandma? Oh, they ready. They ready for you.
Sure.
Are you working?
Yeah, I'm working.
God.
Yeah, I'll be down there.
So
No, what you trying to use?
So
No.
this is the time of the show, Kathy, where the hour has come. We've been on here for 56 minutes. I would have loved to be on here for long. Let me go ahead and read a couple of these questions. Y'all get ready to talk y'all shit. Y'all already know how it rolls. Crystal, I know you're going to have a good one. Kathy, I know damn. I'm so glad that you went to your laptop or your desktop. I'm so glad because you have been a whole damn vibe on this show tonight.
I have enjoyed everybody.
You're gonna have to co-host with me. You're gonna have to co-host with me one day. You're gonna have to co-host.
You got some great people online, and I have enjoyed absolutely all their comments, and they just amazing women.
Thank you. So we're gonna read some of these comments. Kimono Lee was high class though. So he's talking about high class. Oh, I mean Jennifer Lopez, you would consider. I mean high class after she did. But what Kathy was talking about she's talking about the prostitutes, the women that they're bringing in to do the illicit acts and that are consensual. So again, we've been talking about Diddy today. We've been talking about Cassidy's testimony. We've been talking about the actual charges that they have Diddy. I just think that they've overreached. And sometimes when you overplay your hand, you lose. So, and I know everybody wants him to be found guilty because of the video, of course. The video was horrific. We are not giving Diddy a pass on his psyche. We're not giving him a pass on his abusiveness. We're not giving a pass on none of that, his controlling behavior, his manipulative behavior. But the charges that they have him forcibly sex trafficking and also racketeering. I'm a criminal justice major. I just don't see them. I just don't see it. I just don't see it going that way. I don't see him being guilty. If he's found guilty, it's going to be because of the perception and all of the shit that he do. And just like Kathy, you said it no better than anybody. Vanessa, you started it off, but Kathy, you definitely reeled it in on the fact Hugh Hefner, that comparator. I mean, that he was known. This made him famous. Freak offs made him famous. That's what he was known for. Nudity, orgies, everybody having sex with each other. Everybody in the place was prostitutes.
Do you know that everything that we do in this world, in this country, was taught to us by white people?
Mm-hmm.
From the burning down the buildings when they can't have their way. We riot in our own neighborhoods. We burn down, and now when we burn it down, it's look at those hoodlums. But what about when y'all was burning down our shit? You know, it's like everything from the sex scene and this, that, or the other, and just all the Hollywood life. They taught black people their life. You know, we didn't come over here to this country knowing anything. Everything we learned, we got it from them. They were our teachers, basically. Although some steered and went the other way to learn better, but those ones that didn't, we had the examples of white people on how this is how you're supposed to be.
They taught us how to rob, cheat, and steal.
Yep.
That's what they did when they brought us over here. Robbed, took the gold, cheated by luring people in and stole the people, and you killed them.
Yeah.
That was the transportation route. Rob, cheat, and steal.
And the sexual fetishes, because buck breaking and breeding camps when they didn't want to bring over more slaves, and the word mother effer is pure factual from that era. You're treating your own slaves with all the people on the plantation.
Right.
We learned all of those fetishes and all except for the pissing in the mouth from them. Well,
but that's not white people. That's what they do, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what they do that. They eat people.
Yeah. Juanita Hayes says, where were the parents? She was talking about that video. And I was going to say, like, my niece, she's here. She was like, can I go spend night over? And I'm really reluctant because I don't know these people. So, and her auntie said, well, she knows them. And I was like, okay. But then she asked me again, like a third person house, a fourth person. I said, honey, let me tell you this. You may be mad at me. I said, I'm going to treat you just like my own kids. I said, I did not allow my kids. I said, I don't know who's at those houses. I don't know what they doing. I said, I have no idea what's going on with these people. So don't please stop.
I don't know if they got big brothers there with things on their minds.
Even with the drugs and stuff like that, all of that stuff is just, some people get off on seeing, Crystal, you remember when we were at Burke, when they put some stuff in old girl's stuff just to see how she would respond, and she damn near died? You remember when you was at school, because you didn't skip, but I was there at the party because Crystal was a wholesome one. But you remember when I was like, she was so greedy, wanted to smoke all the weed, so they put cat litter in her thing, wrote it up, and she got sick. And we ended up having to run from the place because they had to call the rescue squad. And we wasn't standing around shit. We were pew, 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 and we was gone. They had to call the rescue squad, and the girl that was hosting the party, she was in high school, y'all, but she was only 11. And she lived out there. I'm talking about, Chris. I ain't gonna drop no names. But anyway, she was like 11, but she looked like she was 14 or 15. I think I might have been 15 or 16 because we was at the senior skip party, but we wasn't seniors yet. But some people just like to do stuff just to see what it's gonna do to somebody else. So I'm just like, I just have to stand my ground. And Mom was like, yeah, you ain't do that with your own kids. So I was like, no. And back then it was, now it's crazy. It's crazy. Juanita said those kids do not fear anything. These kids don't fear anything anymore. They don't. But I'm gonna tell you this: my nieces and nephews, when I come in the room, guess what they mama say? Auntie Shan is here. Auntie Shan is here. Auntie Shan. Oh, y'all been seeing it, Crystal? And they be like,
mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't like. I went to a brunch and I only knew 2 or 3 kids there. They was related to me, but it was about 15 or 20 kids there because they had an Easter egg hunt. It was really, really nice. The girl laid it out. And when I came in, the kids I said, what the fuck is these kids doing? And I said, well, where do y'all want them at? Well, we want them upstairs. I said, get y'all asses upstairs. I don't give a damn who your parent is. Get your ass upstairs. I said, and if you move, I'm coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
And then somebody said, damn, who is she? They was like, Auntie Shan. And then my nephew said, oh, Auntie Shan don't play with nobody kids. I said,
That's how it's got to be. It's that authority.
yeah.
Got to
I
be.
didn't put a hand on none of them, but they sat their asses there.
Right. And you know, like you love on them and everything, but when you say what you got to say what you mean and mean what you say.
Exactly.
That's just it. There ain't no reasoning and okay, well, if you keep on, you know, look, I done told you, you did it again. Now you just got to sit your ass down. That's it. You get nothing. You get to see them play because you didn't know how to act. So you just sit there and watch. That's it.
And whoop on to abusive stages. It was them legendary ass whoopings that happened on 1 or 2 occasions that made you think about it. And I believe in the same theory. If I give you an ass whooping and it becomes a legend, your friends and you, my kids do the same thing. They'll tell you in a heartbeat, she don't play, don't. And I'm not gonna reason with you, and I'm not gonna repeat myself.
Right. 1, 2, 1. I'm not saying 1. I'm not saying 1. All right, y'all. This is the final shout out to the people who was watching live. Some of them that already popped out. May have had things to do because we were an hour late today. Juanita Hayes, Jean Pendergrass, Maxine Hardeman from Denver, Matthew Jordan. Shout out your city if you're from a different city. William Flood, Paul Bunyan is watching on YouTube. Thank you for coming in. Miss Winters is watching on YouTube. Thank you for joining from YouTube. Sister Hayes is in here. Gwendolyn Thomas, this is my first time seeing you in here. Thank you for joining. And for those of you who left, thank you for joining. So y'all already know what time it is. Boom, 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 boom. It's talk your shit time. I already told you I gave y'all the setup. Y'all know what time it is. Ooh. I just couldn't say it yesterday. I couldn't say it today. But you know what the hell is on my nerve? I am so sick and tired of. We're going to go with Vanessa Warren. Vanessa Warren, because you had a good one yesterday. You can refresh their memory on the one you had yesterday and throw in another one if you want to. What are you sick and tired of?
Mine is small today, but I am sick and tired of South 72nd Street being torn up, Dodge being torn up.
Girl, every street.
Fair being torn up. I'm sick of having to take a 15-minute route to get to my house.
On a 10-minute drive, 8-minute drive.
On a 10-minute.
Sick and tired of it. I understand that we all know in every city they got a reason. And then this is the thing, when they tear up the street, they put the stuff down. Why don't the concrete look new? It still look like that raggedy ass shit you tore up. I mean, I don't know how it's like they had my whole street tore up. It's not smooth. I said, well, I mean, what y'all do? Piece that brick together and then put some like crazy glue on that shit? I don't know. All right. Crystal. Evangeline Wright.
Lord, you know what? Honestly, I'm sick of little Miss Shirley. I'm sick of her.
That's what they said yesterday.
I'm sick of that little girl, okay? Sitting on the toilet somewhere.
Right, with that big ass pepper on potty trained. Miss Shirley is not even potty trained. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Miss Shirley throwing that ass and popping it. I mean, just like I said, that part of the dance is very suggestive to me. And the way Miss Shirley do it, I seen her doing it on Jennifer Hudson's show. And I was just like, you know, and then her mom and Vanessa, you was telling us about the video where she was talking about, why y'all hating? Why ain't you potty trained?
Yeah, right.
You talking about why ain't y'all hating? Miss Shirley, why ain't you potty trained?
Right.
No, that's what they say. What's your address? Do you know your address?
Right. Spell Shirley. Do you know your real name, Miss Shirley? Look, yeah. And I ain't trying to hate on the girl, but that's a bit much because the way that she's being raised as a social media sensation, once she lose that, she's going to be mind fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Mind fucked. Because anybody that
you see back into a casting situation.
Right. Anybody that got that attention and all that, and these are people who's older than Miss Shirley. Then it's gone, and then they talk about how depressed they was. They wanted to kill themselves and stuff like that. She's too young for all of that attention. And then we already know these YouTube sensations is here today and gone tomorrow. It ain't like Janet Jackson been in in entertainment from little kids. Yeah, it don't happen like that no more. It don't happen like that no more. All right, Crystal. Yes, somebody said Vanessa said that yesterday. I had to show Miss Shirley popping it yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't even know her name was Miss Shirley. So Vanessa said, "Can you please talk about Miss Shirley?" I said, "Well, who the hell is that?" She said, "But I knew the little girl. I just didn't know her name was Miss Shirley." So all the way from Atlanta, y'all, we got Kathy K. Smiles, Kathy K. Smiles Smith, baby, K. Smiles. I know you in Atlanta. You a movie producer. You are a playwright. You have produced plays. I know you got to tell us something. I know you got something good shit that you
I
see.
got something. I'm sick of restaurants putting that goddamn gratuity on my damn ticket without my permission. I don't care how good or bad the service is. You do not get to tell me how to spend my goddamn money.
Right. It is frustrating, and I'm like, if they just say, "Oh,
They automatically
remember you start at 10%."
yes.
It's
And then
not
I
at
will
20% now.
tip you more, but I don't like it. I don't care how bad the service is. They automatically put the gratuity on there, and it's not. I ain't tell you to do that. You know, you don't get to tell me how to spend my money. I don't like that. Don't. And then some of the services is terrible. You know, and I tip anyway, and I tip good. I would have gave you more, but since you took it upon yourself to put this little 18% on there, well, that's what the hell you gonna get. I would have gave you more.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, and I understand it when you have parties of 7 or more, but yeah, by isolation, by
now it used to be like that. Now it used to be a large part. Now it's every ticket.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's out here. I don't know how they do it in the web, but it's every ticket. It automatically goes on there. Automatically.
So and to go on that, I'm gonna always add on to somebody sick and tired, because then it reminds me, damn, I'm sick and tired of that same shit too. So I'm sick and tired of. I call a restaurant. I said I'm getting pick up. When I go to pick my food up, it's got every place you go to. Even if you just go to the cash register and get your food, nobody is waiting on me. And talking about tip, what the fuck am I tipping you for? I'm lost. I'm lost. I say I call a place, they get the order. I go to the register. No, for what? You did nothing but hand me my damn food. That's no different going to McDonald's, going to the window, going to the counter and saying, "Let me get a Whopper with cheese and fries," and you hand it to me. What the hell am I tipping you for?
What about the waitresses and waiters when you give them a large dollar and then a bill, and they assume that was their tip, and you're like, "Where my change at?"
Oh, no, yeah, I had that happen to me too. But since we on food, let me tell you something else. I do not like. Which thank God I don't eat at fast food restaurants anymore. But when you get your food and they got the ketchup and mustard in the same bag as your fries, how many roaches or people's hands that went all over them little packages?
Yeah,
and they stick them right in your fries. Or as I went to Zaxby's and got a salad, they put what was that they put? Oh, what's that Zaxby's? Somewhere I went. Where was I? And they put the sauce in the thing with the salad. And I'm like, I said, can you remake this? As a matter of fact, just give me my money back. I said, because this is nasty. Because when y'all close down at night, it's roaches and bugs and stuff crawling out. First of all, I don't even like eating at restaurants because of that. But if you're going to give me my food, don't put mustard packages and ketchup packages on top of my fries. And
right. Everybody's hands have been on it.
Yeah, and not only that, the people who make it, manufacturing. And my son worked at a plant like that, and he would talk about the maggots and all the stuff because they bust open and then they ship them off, and then you're gonna put it in somebody's fries. I'm like, this is not acceptable. No, I don't like that. I'm real picky about my food.
I feel you on that. I feel you. Have you ever been to Southern Fire Kitchen in Atlanta? Fire.
No, I normally just cook at home. I'm a Memphis girl.
Fire. So true, mindful, or gotta be somebody put some fries on there and says so true, mindful, not mindful, or gotta be trained sanitary practice and food handling. Nephew, come here. She talking about sanitary food. Tell them what happened to us when we went to pick our pizza up.
Oh, this girl just took out the trash as soon as we
was in the drive-thru getting
in a drive-thru. So she's taking out the trash. Then want to try to hand us our pizza.
She was like, "Can I help you?"
Lord.
I was like,
"No," just looking at me crazy.
I was like,
time.
I said, "The whole big trash. You just took the trash out. We seen you."
Yeah, and then try to, oh Lord.
I said, "Can I help you?" What I was like, Damon was looking at her like, cause he like OCD, like he been cleaning and wiping shit down 10 times since I've been on the show. He been wiping shit down 10 times since I've been on. But yeah, I definitely that was disgusting for me. So I'm sick and tired of America. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. I'm sick and tired of you allegedly supposed to be the standard. You ain't the standard of shit. You have a whole big ass fat orange felon that is the head of the state. You are not the standard for shit. You can't tell nobody what to do. United States got a big for sale sign in it. Just claim it. This man is making billions. He was never a billionaire. That's what people like. He was never his broke ass wasn't no billionaire. That's why he keep having to file bankruptcy. He was never a billionaire until he became the president. He used that as a business. You are supposed to detach yourself from every business you have.
He wouldn't show his tax because he don't want people to see how broke he really is.
Exactly. That's why he didn't show it.
His money is his power, but he don't have any money. So he's not letting people in on what he don't have. That man is broke. He's broke. He's not broke, but he don't have the money that he claimed.
Oh, he didn't have the money. He do now. He's got billions.
Oh, yeah. Elon was getting paid what, $8 million a week just to do what he was doing. I mean, how was they helping the United States?
Yeah,
the egg went down. It's crazy.
I'm sick and tired of these Republicans. I'm just sick and tired of America, period. Y'all voted a big fat musty fool in there, and he already changed the course of politics. He changed the course of the United States the first time he was elected. And they thought that once Joe Biden won, that it was going to change. No, he left an imprint on some idiots, because you cannot have common sense to believe in anything. Now, the people that's billionaires and elite, y'all want tax breaks. I see y'all. Y'all like, this is about money for me. But people that thinking that says, oh, he's going to do, he don't give a damn about y'all. Y'all trailer parks, he don't give a damn. Now they all crying. I didn't know he was going to do that. Well, he said he was. Kamala Harris told you for 3 months what he was going to do. I'm sick and tired of y'all acting like y'all didn't know what he was going to do.
I don't know anything about Project 25, 2020. I don't know anything about that. It's not I don't know anything.
And he's turning the pages. He probably on page 225 right now. He probably done turned the page 225 right now. So that's what I'm sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of y'all acting like that man knows something. He's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. He's an imbecile. He got dementia. I'm sick and tired of y'all saying, oh, he's turning the country in the right way. Everything he do is for money. Trust and believe. Everything he say is for money.
Black people who, more than anybody, he has wrote everything he's written has been against us. He fired qualified black people, talking about they was only in position because of the DEI, as if they wasn't smart enough to deserve those positions, and he fired them. Like that black guy that was running like over the United States Army or whatever, he let him go. I mean, he was only there because of DEI, and that man was educated and certified and earned their position, and he fired that man. Right. Just, and the black people sit there and hip parade that shit.
Yeah.
Where y'all at? God.
I mean, they got to pay attention. They got to stay woke, because they can't sleep on this. It's happening. It's in our face every day. I can't even watch the news because of his fat ass.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm sorry, baby. I'm gonna tell you where they messing up at. They got on Joe Biden for sending money over there to Ukraine. It was written before Joe Biden even got in office that we have to help our allies. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is because if Russia gets a hold of Ukraine, they're going to start to be bigger than us, more powerful than and Russia not going to stop. If they get Ukraine, they're going for Germany. If they get Germany, they're going
for Poland. Yeah,
that's why the fight. They don't. Well, why they helping Ukraine? We got people here. Y'all don't understand. Joe Biden giving sending that money over there is helping your generation.
exactly.
If you don't send the money to help them fight off Russia, Russia is going to take over Ukraine, and that's going to be it for our asses over here.
Yep.
Our grandchildren won't stand a fighting chance if Russia takes over Ukraine. And they don't understand that's what that money was for. You gotta fight off Russia. Because if Russia get them, they going for the other little countries that won't be able to fight them off.
Right, exactly. That's all they need. Get that win, and it's a wrap. It's a domino effect. It's bloom, 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 bloom.
Blaming Joe Biden because he's sending money over there that was written before.
That's what he was supposed to do. That's what NATO is about. That is what your allies is about. And people that are not educated and don't know what allies, don't know what NATO is, don't know what the 3 judicial branches of government is, don't know what the damn electoral ballots is, don't know none of that, and talking all this shit, still ain't voting or either voting for the fat food. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm real sick and tired of it. Shout out to Linda Brown, Nandy J, and also Denise Smith. She said they voted for him. Now they got to deal with it for the next 4 years. And that is so correct. We ain't going to keep y'all here too long, but I do want to say this before I go. We, us, our people, us, women, we are the strongest. Us, here, right here. We are the strongest specimen on this earth. We are the strongest specimen on this earth. When in 1920s, during the Great Depression, the folks was jumping out of buildings. They was killing themselves, hanging themselves. That's how these people is with Donald Trump. We knew what we say. Oh, let's make these potatoes stretch. We gonna make this bread stretch. Put this bread on some ice so it won't mold. We knew what to do. So we, even though we didn't want him in there, and he has no business being in there, we knew if he got in there what we got to do. So we gonna survive. It's y'all that ain't gonna survive. We gonna survive. Black people been doing this shit since the beginning of time. If we don't know nothing else, we know survival.
Child, a black person to have a squirrel sandwich on your ass in a minute.
But that's, you better put that dog up. He looking awful good over here.
Yeah, we knew how to survive.
You see, I'm pushing him away.
Yeah, I see you go. Okay, so ladies, I want to officially thank everybody. Crystal Wright, one of my frequent co-hosts is Crystal Wright, Ness Kampu, aka Ness Kampu, Vanessa Warren, Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. I missed one part. What I missed? Vanessa.
Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Sorority Incorporated. Okay. She is a valued member in our community. Deltas are very visible, more visible than any sorority in our city. Deltas, I know Zetas are very big in Atlanta. Down south, Zetas are very big. Deltas are huge here. They are very visible here. So thank you for all the work that you do. Miss Smith, thank you so much. I didn't know you was gonna be this hilarious. I did not know you was gonna be. I will be inviting you back. I will be hitting you up, giving you my phone number. We are going to have to co-host the show again. You were amazing. Thank you so much. Give us some of your projects that we can go look up. We can go look up online or.
Okay, so I have a lot of projects in the works right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my projects, like I'm the first and only person in the world that has ever honored elite and celebrity bodyguards. And the celebrities have to show up. So I've honored some of the best of the best. This never been done in the world. I looked at people who never get told thank you. Secret Service men, military guards, celebrity bodyguards, athletes, bodyguards, Fortune 500. I just went and I did it in honor of my son when he passed away, although he wasn't a bodyguard, but I always told him he was my little bodyguard because he was always overprotected of me. So I wanted to do something in his honor. And I said, I always think about what hasn't been done. So I said, let's honor some bodyguards. My first year, I honored some great bodyguards, Mary J. Blige. I mean, it was like it just took off. The following year, it was J. Cole's bodyguard and all these other people and Secret Service men. And then it was the third year. Then we went through the COVID 2 years. We didn't do it. But last year, I honored Tyrese bodyguard. And this is where it takes a turn for the better. I honored Tyrese bodyguard, Jermaine Dupri. The bodyguards from MCA, Columbia Records, Warner Bros. It was just a black excellence in the building. So Tyrese calls me the next day after the bodyguard awards and was like, hey, can you come to my house? And I'm like, okay. So I get to his house, girl, 6-story house, elevators, everything. It's like ridiculous. So I get in there and he was like, what you're doing is incredible. I've never seen anything like this. I want to be a partner. And I said, okay, well, we need to talk about it or whatever. So we came up with this ideal of, what he thought it should be. Of course, his Rolodex is much bigger than mine because he got The Rock. He's got, Vin Diesel. He's on the, all that Fast and Furious people and Beyonce and all them. So he flew me to LA twice. I went to the Academy Awards building, met up with all these white people. And they just like, oh, this is genius. This is like what they call it, the Oscars for bodyguards.
Yeah, hidden gem.
Yeah, so this year we'll be doing it in November. But what threw me off was the fires and things like that. They have some disasters out there in LA. So I'm like, I'm fine doing it in Atlanta, but Tyrese wants to move it to LA. But at the end of the day, it's my show. So I get the final say so about where it's going to be at. But not only that,
I want a ticket. I'm coming. I think that's a hidden gem.
I can come. I also do working on the Globetrotters documentary. I'm working on that. And y'all remember Paul Williams from the Temptations, right? Paul Williams. His brother reached out to me to do a documentary on him. It's just a lot of stuff. I work with like Tyler Perry's cousin, Lucky Johnson. Y'all can look him up. I have a movie that won the international movie was Senseless. That I did. You can see the trailer online because we're getting ready to redo that one. I was also starred in a movie called Free Indeed, 3 words. We won, come here, baby. We won Best Movie in Italy, Best Movie in Turkey, and that's what got my name all over the world, was that movie right there. So if y'all look up Free Indeed, and y'all can see it too, it's on NBA Peacock right now.
Oh, I got Peacock.
And that's just it. Like I said, I try to, my stage play is traveling. And I'm just wrote another one. I got a musical called I'm Fat, So What? It's an all plus size women.
Let me get in there.
I'm telling you, I will come out there and we can regulate some stuff in your town and we can do our own stage plays out there. And I'll just have to leave you over everything.
Look, you got people saying, I want to go.
Yeah, come on, y'all can go for sure. It's really something to see. And I think I have if you go onto my page on YouTube, or else you could type in Elite Bodyguard Awards, I think you'll get a chance to see like what we did there. But I think I put it up. I'm not good with like posting y'all because I just don't want, I don't be like, oh, look at me. I sometimes forget to post and my publicist be like, girl, you ain't posting nothing. I'll be like,
you sound like my daughter. My daughter
I'm not big on really posting, although I probably should, but I don't. And it's okay though, because I'm not in it for that. I'm just enjoying my life. And I'm trying to bring as many
awesome.
Bring as many people up with me as I can.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Crystal Wright, Vanessa Warren, and Kathy K. Smile Smith. Make sure y'all look her stuff up. I'll drop some. Linda, I see my sister Linda Brown is in here. Make sure you drop some of the stuff that Miss Smith just talked about, and then I'll drop it on my post. I'll edit my post and put it up there. But y'all already know what time it is. You guys have been tuned in to the hottest podcast in the Midwest, the only podcast that shouts you out in real time and answer questions on the spot. We had 3 fabulous guests today: Crystal Wright, Vanessa Warren, and Kathy K. Smile Smith, award-winning for plays, international movies, and then she has the gem of all gems, the Elite Bodyguard Award. I'm going in November. I'm going. Anybody going with me? Who going with me? I'm going. Vanessa, you in?
Just all you gotta do.
All right, y'all already know. Before you go to sleep, you got to do what? Blah, blah, blah. Stay woke. We are out of here. Thank you for joining us. We will see y'all next Wednesday.